Teaching 71. 1. Beloved disciples, in this period you have received the grace of sitting at my table. Come and be in spirit with me. Preserve my word in your heart, and you will get to form an album of marvelous wisdom with my lessons of love. 2. The light of my Holy Spirit will illuminate by paths and the wilderness, so that mankind may find the true way, that of their spiritual evolution. I come when perversity and corruption are at their greatest level. My doctrine appears before you as an ark of salvation. The world is an ocean of suffering. On seeing that ark, would not humanity wish to find their salvation there? 3. Disciples, all of you know the wilderness and the crossroads of the pathways. That is why you are the chosen ones to go in search of the multitudes eager for life. 4. Go forth in search of the leper when in your heart there is no leprosy. Speak of love to those who find themselves overwhelmed by affliction, and when my doctrine has been identified in your sentiments and you feel love and charity toward your brethren, you will have progressed in your spiritual evolution. Indicate the way to your brethren, and do not be bothered if in the end they leave you alone, due to their ungratefulness. You will have the satisfaction of knowing that those who were lost are coming close to me, and you will feel my company during your solitude. 5. There the manna will descend to nourish you, and you will always have something to give to the needy. 6. I love you and I want you to be perfect. That is why my justice manifests itself in an inexorable way among mankind. All past deeds and apparently forgotten by God will be judged during this period when the incarnated Spirit can understand, accept, and comprehend my judgments. Kings, judges, lords, all those who in some way sowed the seed of evil among their brethren will be present in the judgment of the Lord. However, I say to you that instead of tying them with chains, of depriving them of light, or to submit them to eternal torments, as mankind in their ignorance would believe, I will entrust to them a mission within my work of salvation to purify their spirit, to correct faults which they may have committed, and understand that my justice proceeds from the divine love. If I choose those great sinners, many of whose names your history has gathered, to avail myself of them when the time comes to carry out deeds of fraternity and peace among mankind. Why is it that sometimes you reach a point of considering some of your brethren as an obstacle along your way? Why is it that you reach a point of even separating from the path of your destiny those beings who were placed there by my will? Oh, if you knew that many times they are those who serve me best and who will help you draw nearer to me. 7. May your heart be similar to these prayer houses where you congregate to hear my word. Through those doors have passed the ones who have committed offenses in many forms, those who have blemished their hand with the blood of their brother, those who conceal thefts, slander, and dishonors. And nevertheless, when have they been rejected by me? Or at least, when have they been exposed before the others? A compassionate veil of tenderness has covered their blemishes, while my spirit has conversed with that sinner alone. Behold, when they are hearing my word, they learn to pray, elevating their thought toward the infinite, to feel that he who approaches the spiritual receives strength, light, inspiration and balsam, encouragement and peace. 8. Blessed people, during these moments when war shakes the world, I have asked that you be watchful and pray for your brethren, that you feel their affliction and convey to them sentiments of light and peace. But I must say that first you should learn to love, serve, and forgive those around you, in order to be able to love and serve those who are absent. Love your destiny, accept your better cup, embrace your cross with love. No one knows what spirit animates his being, nor does he know, while on earth, the reason for his restitution. 9. Let it be the conscience that will illuminate the spirit, and the spirit which will guide the flesh. 10. Leave your sadness and your desperation. Everyone will be able to reach the promised mansion. For that purpose I have come to help you. What more suitable times than the present are you awaiting to arise? Do you perhaps await times of peace torn merits? Truly I say to you that this is the best time to carry out your restitution and accumulate merits. 11. To you people I say, take advantage of the divine lesson that I have brought to you, because in the year 1950 you will be left without it. It would be easier for the sun to stop shining than for my word not to be fulfilled. However, those who have not safeguarded it within their heart will have to weep due to their ungratefulness, when that is not my will. 12. At each moment I alert you, and in each lesson I prepare you so that you will not deviate from the pathway or blemish your spirit further. 13. Do not be men of little faith. Behold that what I offered you in previous times, I have come to fulfill it in the third era. On the other hand, man has not known how to fulfill his promises and duties. 14. On some moments you arise to follow me, when you feel that I should aid you in your trials, and that my charity will help you to come out unharmed. But later you forget again, due to your ungratefulness. 15. Among you are also those who love me, those who only await the time of trials and persecution to manifest their loyalty and fortitude. Those are the ones who will arise in search of the regions devastated by the elements to impart their charity to the needy. I will make them recognize the precise moment to arise toward their fulfillment, allowing that in their heart they may feel the message that will tell them not to carry excessive provisions for the journey and to trust in my heavenly power. 16. Other laborers will be sent to speak about my work to other nations, and there, with their deeds of love and their prayers, they will stop the war. When the moment of their fulfillment takes place, they will not rebel against mine innate for having to leave their dear ones and their benefits. They will not imitate the miserly wealthy. 17. He who laments for having forsaken what he has in order to follow me will make his path painful and his cross heavy. On the other hand, he who is filled with conformity and confidence to leave everything to my care will have peace and strength in the struggle, and on his return will find everything just as he left it. 18. I have come to reveal the spiritual gifts that you possess and teach the use that you should obtain from them, in order that you never take them to perform deeds that are not within my law. For then instead of conveying light, you would sow darkness and confusion. 19. Do not allow that through your imperfect deeds your own people will deny you and depart from you. They will get to understand you when you have understood me. 20. I want my disciples to be always prepared to heed the calling of one who suffers and heal him with true charity. 21. Think how many sick beings are near you. Notice that there is no household exempt from illnesses. Behold how many possessed who do not receive charity from anyone. There are the fields where you can sow. Carry your gifts, convey the light, and free them from their chains, without forgetting that you should also treat with love and charity those invisible beings in order to make them penetrate the light. 22. Why, when I inundate you with peace and happiness, you become lethargic? Will it be necessary for affliction to accompany you always, so that your heart will remember me and your spirit be on the alert? 23. Arise and do not sin again. Do not weaken yourselves in earthly pleasures, because you will have to answer to me as much about your spirit as well as your body. And the moment will arrive when, even if your clamor is elevated to the heavens, you will not be granted what you solicit, because it was given to you the first, second, and third times, and with full knowledge of the facts you rejected it. The fact is that you have seen that above all I am love and forgiveness. But do not forget that in my justice I am inexorable. 24. Be watchful, for I will soon come as a judge before all sects and religions, and I will ask each God, each pastor or minister, what he has done with the spirits that I have entrusted to him. I will ask everyone what they have done with my law and my doctrine, and every bad weed shall be exterminated. 25. Be vigilant also over the peace of this nation, which I have selected, so that in it my word will be heard and studied. War, greed, ambitions, and false doctrines lie in wait for your people. However, I will liberate you from the wars of the Pharaoh who would want to convert you into his subjects, because now you are serving my cause. 26. But if you would witch bondage again, it will be given to you. However, do not forget that you are predestined to be watchful over the peace of the world and prevent war from snatching the children from their parents' arms. Pray so that with your prayer darkness will be dissipated. 27. Mothers, pray for humanity. Maidens, persevere in prayer and virtue. You are the fountain from whence the generations of tomorrow will emerge, who must give testimony of my truth. 28. O my people, it has not been the words you have pronounced in your prayer which have opened my arcanum. It has been the voice of your spirit and the throb of your heart. Receive all that I deliver to you. For I do not want to perceive sadness or needfulness among this people whom I love so much. Do not lose the garments of peace with which I come to cover you. 29. The spiritual altar, invisible to your physical eyes, invites you at every moment to deposit your offering there, which should also be spiritual. 30. Hear my word. It is the seed that you should sow. It has love as its essence. I give it to you at no cost whatsoever. It is a gift reserved for you during this period. I am not tired in pouring love upon my children. Neither am I tired of awaiting their return to the righteous path. But mankind will certainly get tired of sowing hatred, violence, and egotism. Each seed of hatred that they sow will multiply against them in such a way that their strength will not be enough to gather its harvest. This result, unforeseen and superior to their human power, will detain them in their frenzied and senseless journey. Afterward, I will perform a miracle in each heart by allowing charity to emanate where there was only egotism. Men will again attribute to themselves all perfection, knowledge, and justice. They will remember that Jesus said, "The leaf of a tree does not move without the Father's will," because today, according to the feeling of the world, the leaf of a tree, all beings in the stars move by chance. 31. Truly I say to you that I will touch you with my measure of love, and I will make water sprout from rocks. The guilt and debts that for centuries mankind has been carrying will be forgiven them, and peace shall be in the spirits. Come to me, O sick beings, O blind of spirit. My balsam is ready to be poured upon each one of you. Come to me, those who yesterday were lords and today suffer privations, humiliations, and miseries. You, who yesterday knew about elegance and honors and today conceal your tears in the corner of your chamber. Come near me, O men who hide your lamenting from your spouse and your children, so they will not be intimidated during their existence. Open your heart to me and tell me all your troubles. I will give you a key, bread, and a coin so that your bitterness may turn to joy. Today you possess nothing. The nest in which you live and where your children were born is not yours. You are like the birds who do not know how, but you live. 32. It is time of justice and audience. The time of tolerance when you had everything has passed. Accumulate merits in your trials, and in fairness I will grant you light and peace for your spirit, and whatever you need on earth will be given to you besides. 33. How much suffering I behold in your world. Childhood is already familiar with the cup of bitterness, and soon their heart is hardened. The flowers are withered in full youth. Their hair prematurely becomes gray. I receive your tears as a present. They call at the doors of my charity, and I open them to fill you with hope and peace. 34. Do you not feel that you have returned to life? You have left your complaint and your confession in me. knowing that you are heard and comforted. For I am the resurrection and the life. 35. Today you come under the cloud of my promise to receive shade. Your spirit is illuminated with the splendor my lessons give you. 36. You are living the period announced by the prophets and seers of past years, whose spirits today behold the fulfillment of the divine word. 37. If you were spiritually prepared, you could behold in the infinite multitudes of spiritual beings who before your gaze would resemble an immense white cloud. And when those messengers or envoys would move from there, you would see them approaching as flashes of light towards you. 38. Your spiritual vision still is not penetrating, and that is why I have to speak to you from the hereafter, from all that which you cannot contemplate yet. But I say to you that the time will come when all of you will be seers and will rejoice yourselves before that marvelous existence that today you feel distant, but in reality vibrates near you. It involves and illuminates you. It inspires you and calls incessantly at your doors. 39. This doctrine brings the mission of sensitizing all the dormant fibers in your being, in order for man from this mansion to catch a glimpse of the light of the kingdom awaiting him. 40. Many centuries of materialism weigh over mankind, but that is not its destiny. Man is not condemned to eternally ignore the superior light. If he still ignores many of the splendors of creation, it is not because God has concealed them. Rather, his love for the world has blinded his spiritual eyesight. But he shall open them to the light, and then will realize that his Father has always sought him to reveal to him the contents of the book of the true light. 41. How strong men will be when they unite with their brethren who dwell in the realm of light. But in order for that to happen, humanity still should drink much bitterness. 42. Suffering will be the cup of grief that will give back to men's sensitivity, nobleness, cleanliness, and spirituality. But truly I say to you that it will not be your Father who will offer you that cup. You have been those who have filled it and who will drink it, so you may get to know the taste of the fruit of your deeds, and after that judgment you can arise to a true life, whose path will be illuminated by the light of your conscience. 43. Beloved laborers, have you made a self-examination before offering me your fruit? 44. Why do I see lamenting in you? Why do tears show in your eyes? It is because you are not satisfied with what you have done. 45. Do not fear, disciples. I am receiving your tribute of love, each one of your charitable deeds and even those tears that you have shed. Lean your head on me, rest while listening to my gentle word, and you will be healed from all your wounds. 46. Delicate is the task I have entrusted to you, and it is precisely when you listen to my voice that you understand it better. The fact is that you compare the perfection of my teachings with the humility of your deeds, and it is then when you find them small and unworthy of me. However, I say to you that concerning the purity or lack of it in your deeds, only your Father is able to judge. 47. You are before a people who day by day seeks you in demand of balsam, advice, light, and comfort, and sometimes you are afraid not to be offering them what I have entrusted to you. 48. I am pleased for your concern and zeal, for that will allow you to evolve in your evolution, with which you will get to develop and manifest all the gifts I have given you. 49. Do you long to perfect yourselves? Hear my lessons attentively. No one will be able to correct you with the love, wisdom, and tenderness with which I do. 50. Do you wish to cleanse your blemishes? Allow my charity to touch you with my wise and perfect justice. 51. I do not reprimand or denounce you before your brethren. I know how to reach each spirit with my light and know how to speak to him from near in a low but profound voice to each heart. 52. There will be days when my word will be manifested more severe. For while the more time you have been listening to my word and receiving my mandates, the greater your responsibility will be. If you wish for the master not to speak to you in a severe tone, it can be avoided in your fulfillment by being obedient to my orders, not materializing yourselves with this blessed manifestation and being untiring sowers of charity, light, and peace. 53. Let it be my word that will cleanse you of blemishes and impurities, and not wait for suffering to purify you. There, in the depth of my word, you will be able to find all you need to understand the perfect form of practicing my doctrine and to have faith in complying with your restitution. 54. Keep in mind that if you take a transcendental step in the road towards spirituality, behind you will come the generations who will obtain a greater progress. You will remain as firm foundations so that above them your brethren will arise filled with faith. 55. You will form within my work a new apostleship. Be inspired in the exalted examples of those who followed me during the second era. However, if you acknowledge that some of them had moments of weakness which made them be at fault, try not to fall into those errors. Do not harbor the fears of Peter, so you may never deny me, nor encourage dreams of glory or earthly greatness in order not to exchange my work for miserable coins, as Judas Iscariot. Neither will you ever doubt of my presence, like Thomas, in order not to be painfully repentant. 56. Know that I love you, since in each one of my words I reveal that love. But do not forget that I would also reach a point of touching you severely to make you relinquish your errors or your stubbornness in something that would be improper of my disciples. What do you lack in order to be my good disciples? You have everything. Embrace your cross, carry it with love, for in it you will elevate yourselves toward the light awaiting your spirit when your mission has been completed. 57. Your rejoicing is greater when you contemplate that my love prepares new faculties through whom I will give you my word, because you realize that the manna will not be lacking in the wilderness. This word will be a sustenance that will give you strength to reach the very gates of the promised land. 58. You are praying, O my people. My voice separates you from the world and helps you to elevate yourselves. How many times you have to await the moment when my ray descends among you in order to pray? For previously you had not managed it. Behold how at the same time that your spirit purifies itself, it is feeling my presence nearer. The time has already passed when you felt me distant, when you had me as a king incapable of descending to you, for you judged yourselves as unworthy and miserable. That is why I have come during 3 eras to make myself completely known by man. 59. Today I have said to you, be prepared so you may feel my love and be able to reach and understand me. He who has known how to spiritualize himself discovers my footsteps anywhere, and at every moment feels my presence in him. 60. Come tirelessly to hear me. I give you the necessary weapons with which you can overcome the obstacles and bad influences that might obstruct your steps. Master the world, overcome your own selves, and you will reach me. Struggle, for I will not abandon you in your efforts. 61. It has not been by chance that has brought you to listen to me during this period. It has been my charity which selected you from the multitudes. For I recognize you spiritually as the firstborn. It has been some time since my law and my justice descended upon you. Within you was the law of the prophets and the blood of the Lamb. Today in you is the light of my Holy Spirit that is clarifying mysteries for you. In past times I formed a people with your spirits, a people who during this period, while being incarnated, are invisible among mankind. Today you will not be united by races, blood, names, tribes. Not even will one know where the other one is. And nevertheless, you will be united in spirit. Only my penetrating gaze will discover you, but not the gaze of Caesar, Who will be able to find you to confine you toward bondage, toward captivity? 62. If I have named you firstborn, do not expect anyone to kneel before you. You will humiliate no one. Only I know who is first and who is last along this path. But since I have inherited you, you will also inherit your brethren. Be united in spirit, in intuition, in thought. Spread bonds of love and goodwill among one another. Then you will be strengthened and no one will humiliate you again. Pharaohs, kings, Caesars, and executioners were over you in previous times during moments of weakness of my people. Who will oppress you during this period if you do not weaken? You have no need to deny anyone in order to comply with my law. You will not reject men of science or ministers of any sect or religion. Your mission is reduced to make known the revelation that I have brought to you. I speak to you in this manner. For when I created you, I deposited in your being my seed of perfection. I want you to be like me through your deeds. Do not be satisfied in being similar to my divinity by possessing spirit, intelligence, conscience, and other attributes, for all that is my work. 63. It will not be I who comes to offer you a fruit and say to you, eat of this, and you will be like gods. I have said to you, eat of this bread, so you will live within my grace. But why has not man reached the likeness of his master through his deeds? Because spiritually and morally he has deformed himself in materialism. And while he has the longing for the grandeur of the earth, he will not be able to possess the promised land. 64. I said that it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. And if someone asks me if he who was wealthy is condemned to ever rejoice with the delights of my realm, I say to him that when that heart would deprive himself of his greed, his egotism, and his materiality, he would cease to be the miserly rich, and then he would be able to enter my kingdom. My justice never condemns anyone, and much less eternally. The fire of which the scriptures speak is the inexorable conscience that will burn like fire until it purifies the spirit of all blemishes, and that fire ceases when the trace of sin has disappeared. Understand that it is not I who dictates your sentence, but you yourselves. 65. The time when you penetrate is when you discover the treasure of the one who bequeathed my charity to each being, and that no one on earth taught you to discover. Instead, these lessons were prohibited and concealed to you by men, fearful that you would get to know yourselves. However, I have come, knowing that along the road of the spirit and the conscience, no one will be lost, thus encouraging you to continue seeking, studying, and knowing your being, which is a start for you in finding and knowing me. Who will prevent you from beholding your inner selves? Who will know the moment of your spiritual communion with me? Who will be able to close your eyes to the light of truth? 66. You are finding your own selves, and through the Spirit you are receiving the revelation of the spiritual light. Who among those who have awakened and beheld this light can make an attempt against his own spirit? Who would dare to deprive their body of its existence, having the intuition of what the hereafter is? Know that it has not been by chance that you have been sent to earth. Nothing is done without my will. I have sent you in order for you to be guardians of peace, which you will share with your brethren by means of a prayer, your word and thought, when you communicate from spirit to spirit with my divinity. 67. Behold war, hunger, pestilence, and death as a gloomy procession that goes from city to city sowing mourning, desolation, and destruction. Fight against war. You have the weapons of love and charity. From this world, you can be subjects of my realm of peace by loving one another. My peace be with you.